Wordsworth's spectacles sit on his desk, they gaze out the windows of his cottage and are studied by the pilgrims shuffling through the small dark rooms with the old wooden props, his possessions and his bits of furniture. Pay a penny and see his relics, it all seems to say. If you like his poetry, you'll like the goods and chattels of the long dead man whose bones are elsewhere. If you learned daffodils, parrot fashion, when it was in fashion, you must worship at the museum of his belongings. These relics were his, apparently, touched by his hands, or sat upon, or slept in, or washed from, or gazed upon by him. His spectacles look out upon the same landscape, unchanged as it is, apart from a little more weathering, erosion by the same westerly wind. But as they peer at random hikers and tourists making their way to his door, they cannot see the interior landscape of the internet, which has allowed us to have dialogues with others in faraway lands, to acquire the sense that we know so much more by looking at, not through, a different glass, a mobile phone, a laptop, the provider of images, and paradoxically the barrier to reaching out to our friends and relatives face to face. The relics in this place where Wordsworth lived sit patiently waiting for use again, for fresh eyes to write about today's pace of life, the mechanical horses which thrum and rush around the twisting roads between dry stone walls. Being here for a while, strolling round some newly painted little shops, sipping foamy coffee, buying trinkets to pass on when we get home. At least the unreliable internet signal helps us to break away from the stampede for information about others, and perhaps, like the daffodils man, to get on with real life for ourselves. I'm sick of this world, I heard her say. You try to annoy me in every way. You leave the toilet seat up every night, and you leave all the lights on. It just isn't right. You sprawl in the armchair watching TV, beer belly exposed, not caring about me. Your legs all stretched out makes an obstacle course, and you let off wind like a big fat horse. You never take me out for a meal and a show, and when it comes to the shopping you're hopelessly slow. I wondered why I married you. You're hopeless in bed. My mother was right, I should have married that Fred. I've packed a few things, I'm leaving today. I'm going back to my mother. You've nothing to say. I hand her her glasses and smile ear to ear as I softly whisper, "You're in the wrong house, my dear."